Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to call the March 17th special meeting of the Board of Supervisors.
Morning, progress.
We'll start the Pledge of Allegiance led by Supervisors Mickey.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there a motion to acknowledge certificate of posting? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Public comment. Is there any public comment for items not appearing on the agenda?
If you'd like to make a comment in chambers, provide a speaker card on Zoom, please press star 9 to raise an icon in chambers. We'll start with Salinas.
Evening, supervisors. Since we're aware that Toll Petroleum has been an accident into the sea, and the last meeting last week, you retroactively went back to continue the contract with petroleum, obviously because it's been doing. You have to, but I want you to please consider and place a future agenda before the contract over, or actually before the budget is over, to consider Tres Pinos gas station is the only gas station in San Benito County that contributes to tax San Benito County. There were two. Toro is now gone. What's the Pinos? There should be one, probably in 2 years. So they're going to build a gas station over at Santa Ranch, but they're ways off, and we need to renew it, all of it. Speaking of revenue, I know that you're in discussion with regards to the solar farm. As you may not be aware, they are in Omas, have their office in San Francisco, but the manufacturing is Rose. In 2020, they expanded and that in the agreement, their sales would contribute to San Benito County, not San Francisco, in San Benito County. Therefore, San Benito County is getting sales tax for all the sales of all the tiles sold. It's a large facility. It's a great facility to go and take a tour of. You have, I encourage to do so. And with regards to the evening meetings, I want you to take into consideration, I know you're doing this, please take into consideration more specifically, not your time as supervisors, but time of your staff. These change hours would substantially hinder the private lives of staff members that have to during daytime. Or you have to alter somehow daytime hours to into evenings. You are aware that evenings go. Supervisors meeting lasts 12 hours, and you've been tired and taken breaks, and you continue because it's important. You continue on subs on to other agenda, but this would add. Time for overtime hours would have to be included into your budget. And so because of the long hours, can you try to adjust your hours? That will also take into consideration. They all have children that need to take care, and so we need to make adjustments for babysitting. Thank you.
Next, James Tanya.
Good afternoon, Chair and Supervisors. My name is Tanya Berry. I've been on a committee action board for 15 years now, and I am districts there, but I'm here on behalf of the community action board, wanting to support the county community development block grants and public service applications through our recent community needs assessments and direct outreach with residents. Priorities have risen to the top. There one is support.
I'm sorry. This is on the agenda for later.
Oh, it is.
So we'll talk about this as the public hearing comes up. We can
Okay. Do you mind if I just, it just takes them, I'm not getting very long.
It's over the rule. Right, we have to take on the agenda. I think you have to take for later.
Oh, I did, it was on the agenda. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you. All right, we'll move to the regular agenda item. First regular agenda item is the discussion and approval of the Union Road Rehabilitation Project changes number 1, 2, and 3. And I think our
As our works administrator, interim paper administrator, we present to you. Thank you.
So, good evening, Chair and members of the board. My name is James Kada, interim public works minister. So on October 14, 2025, San Benito County entered into contract with the County Truck Company for the Union Road Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $3,151,457, being the lowest responsive bidder public being held on October 11, 2025. Following a rebid conference and on investigations and series of requests for information or RIs by the truck, changes to plans were decided. So hence order number 2, number 3 are being proposed as a result of plan revisions. Here are the summary of the proposed change orders date change because this was actually to explore the possibility of filling the project accommodate start of construction during the season. But this proposed change order was rejected. And so change order number 2 is for $114,852. These are mainly for, as a result of the plan revisions, mainly for the need systems and underground works. And change order number 3 is for $21,456. And these are also mainly for the A sites and rubble strips. It's it added decided after the project has been bid. It's not originally in the bid items. Commission number 1, discussion and approval of the union rehabilitation project orders number 1, 2, and 3, and number 2, authorize county executive officer to sign and reject order number 1. Approve change order number 2 for $104,842, and approve change order number 3 for $1,436 for the two change orders not to exceed $316,178. This amount includes the previous contingency allocation of $107,072.85. If approved, total construction contract will be $3,467,735. And number 3 is to adopt budget amendment solution in the amount of $0.4 million, increase appropriation from the general fund reserve to proceed with request change orders and delegate authority to the CEO to determine road and expense accounts at a later date. And number 4 is to write chair plan resolution. And that concludes my presentation, as you're saying.
Thank you. Will you public comment on this item?
If you'd like to make comment in chambers, provide a speaker on them, please press star or the raise hand icon.
So, and asked some time ago that they want to reject change order number 1. It's attached to the agenda and can't search it. So how does the public get access to that? What is the difference? What are you rejecting? The public needs to know what we're rejecting. The public needs to know why it's being rejected and be change order number 2 and to number 3. So giving the CEO authority to reject something that the public isn't aware of, you're rejecting, giving the CEO approval to sign something to amend resolution, you come with a specific number. Again, the public isn't aware of how you come up with this number. San Benito County has had a great relationship with Granite Rock, and in the middle or at the beginning, this is just one project. There are many other projects in San Benito County. We rely on Granite Rock, that's because maybe that's the history, but our local as well as Chipin, that have history in here. But rejecting something the public's not aware of, I don't give a look. I'd like if you don't want the answer, say, what's public information you could look for it. That was told to me last time. It's open on the agenda. There's no reason for it to be put on the agenda. You must be transparent. You get up there, you speak about transparency, and there's not transparent. And I'm going to get to it, but do know history of the CEO having a meeting with Rock, and it didn't turn well, and I don't want the rejection to even worse with that Rock relationship. Thank you.
I have for public comment.
Thank you. Comments from the board?
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Comment was just made. Public Works explained, I think, a minute or two before, change number 1 is not needed any longer, because what it was planning to do the work in the rainy season, so they came up with plan phase 1 of it, and phase 2 in case the rain lay, what the speaker mentioned earlier. That's what it was. That's why there's and longer, because now the project will go from start to finish. There will not be a break between. 2 and 3 are the changes listed in the agenda.
Stella?
Thank you. So I just want to make sure I understand this. Sorry. So previously, the amount, if I go to our original contract, the amount I see the contract for was $3.51 million. Did that amount include the contingency, or that did include contingency?
It would not include $170.
Okay, and that's the contingency. Is that we considered change order number 1?
That will be a case of in change orders, a small change order to cover that amount. So you have the authority to the engineer to be able to do change orders of that amount. However,
What it is, but that we consider change order number 1.
no. Contingency is money that you set aside, not a contract. Set aside with the authority to engineer or public work minister execute in case there is any change order. So the contract company, with the contract company.
Okay, so what we're saying is we're going to do change order number 2, $114,142, as well as change order number 3 for $201,136.
That's correct.
As well as the contingency.
No, you're not adding the
The
contingency.
amount includes previous contingency allocation of $170,000. So can you explain, like, I'm having a hard time, okay, reject change order 1, approve order 2, approve change order 3, and it says the amount includes previous contingent allocation. So where is that previous, or just approving that amount? We're going to approve the $3,467 plus contingency.
So the change orders number 1, 2 are $115,000, right? That amount includes $120,000. So that means you're not adding additional money, so include $120,000. It is included in those $115,000. should not add anything more to the budget, 300.
Okay, and that's change 2, 3, 1, and 2.
That is right.
Okay, so change order 2 and 3 have contingency built into it. So the maximum we are approving potentially is 3.4 million.
Yes, originally the project has set aside, and during the process, set aside $3.4 million.
Right.
With the amount of change orders, then we need to go $3.5 million. The reason we do an entire transfer is because transfer will never, the contracts ordered in over last year, but the transfer funding never completed. So we're doing transfer, we an additional $100,000 to address the changes.
Gotcha.
And it will give a little room, maybe like $33,000 more to any tiny change orders. Hopefully nothing else happen, but just want to have room available.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kura.
Okay, so I totally understand the confusion, Supervisor Hello, and I want to make sure it's very clear, transparent. When you bidding, you have schedule values, and in the schedule values, you have a contingency that's approved in budget. The contingency was previously approved. What's amazing is that it wasn't transferred, which I thank you for catching that it hadn't been transferred and bring it to board to make a decision of transferring. But also, thank you, and I have to thank staff, because we're not approving a change order for the work's been done.
No.
I have been, and I think many of us, include Supervisor Mickey, because I think we agreed on this multiple times, having change orders back to us for work, maybe after work is done, is a moot point. You already done the work. You never came and asked for it. So I want everyone to understand in the public is that this is a change of business in the county. The county is now looking at the project, identifying where the problems are, and coming to the board for authority prior to executing change orders or authorizing work. My concern is the contingency is only 120, is that correct? 170, I misspoke, 170. So in the future, these type of drainage plans and other things will be part of the original bidding process. There are loopholes that bring change orders to contractors, because if we're not specific in our bid documents to ensure that everything is covered, contractors will take advantage of this. I'm saying that part of what's missing, only bid what's on the document. And if we don't ask for it, guess what? Don't get without paying extra for it. So this is where making sure the full scope in the future is identified. You don't have to back large change orders this. That falls on whoever it's our outside consultants are doing, if it's inside staff. It's making sure that we are constantly have full scope and having contractors ensure they're listing exclusions. Because if there are exclusions in your bid, we need to know prior to construction. So I appreciate that this time forward, I'm happy. This is the size of the changers, actually quite the point. We are in a shift now. I think this is an example of how we'll be able to catch things in the future and have bidding issues. So thank you. Just want to make sure we only have the answer mentioned about 33,000 in remaining contingencies with this.
Okay. $1 million is transferred, and we will leave and budget like 30,000.
And have already discussed, and I'm sure if you've already discussed, have we talked contractor? Are there any value engineering options that could save us a little bit in being into additional funds for this? I'm assuming already in that.
We indicate to the CEO that we would like more change orders in the future.
Well, we like no more, but we can work with a contractor and ask, best practices in this road. What's this practice? Are we overestimating anything in order? So if it's value engineer, it would just be maybe, it could be base rock, it could be striping, it could not eliminate it. Is the better process. I am going to leave that to the experts. I'm not the expert. I just want to make sure that those are the types of questions that we're bringing forward when we're looking up these. But I want to thank staff for making sure this was in advance of work being done, because that's the process. Thank you.
Supervisor Custom.
When are we currently to scale for starting just a public where I know we had a meeting earlier in the week?
They are waiting for the approval of this one. And if we can tell them it's being approved, then we'll start on March 23.
20, but that would be the initial, that would be preliminary work, as far as I know, not the construction.
That will be the
Significant would occur. Can't recall, was the time for, no, we put date in, but we really want to
2 months complete work.
complete the work in
Yeah,
full.
it'll be the summer. Hopefully nothing happens. And doesn't know anything like that late started.
Right.
on the contract. They've been working this duration, but hopefully they finish, before that duration.
Just reiterate again, what I've said, the CEO, is that I guess March 23rd is only, it's in a week, so we should get the word out, sooner than later, and lay out the expectation for delay and things like that. What initial work, whatever sort of initial is being done, and construction is expected to start XZ. So make sure you get that out.
Supervisor Cole?
And I noticed that there are already markings on the side of the roads, and seeing the road right now, they're digging because I believe it's Spectrum has come through with broadband, and if we want to do the ones repair once, we do not want to be replacing a new road and then having them cut through. So the coordination between any of the broadband or cable providers needs to be done, because I see that a flag already painted on the side of the road. Now Cienega is completely dug up, and it's going over some areas which some residents are not happy about. But if we can make sure that this is coordinated, that'd be great.
Usually flags are for UA under service art that would where the existing utilities are, so you can avoid it.
Just don't want us to do work and have spectrum come after the fact and dig up sides of roads which can compromise Axe Road.
Yeah, most of the spectrum project right now is all directional work. So there will be like minimal, the pull bus, equal pull bus, minimal bells, big, just to pull the cables. Most of them are underground, directional bore. So there's no fence.
Yeah, I just want to make sure is that we're coordinating it before we to be doing overlays and repairing the road, that we're not making it again.
Fully.
It's a work thing I want to point out. One of the, I think it was first speaker, made a comment about how this got did. It sounds like it's more of a, we'll pay our friends do the work. Make sure the public understands. When a project goes out to bid through government, award to the lowest qualified bidder. That it's not about we like this person, that person, lowest qualified bidder, it's a project. No favoritism, no friends, and that's how it really works. So those deals are as insinuated earlier.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll second.
Okay, we have just a second, get a roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Anger?
Yes.
Supervisor Velasquez? Supervisor Kaiki?
Yes.
Supervisor Tell?
Yes.
Supervisor Crow?
Yes.
5-0 vote, motion passes.
It's 5:27. You can start the public hearing, right? A couple minutes early. Do we need to wait 5:30 on the dot? That's it.
You can wait.
Probably
We wait till 5:30 then, so.
3
Nice.
minutes.
Well, that works out.
Morning stop. Goodness, oh. Oh, my. It's like.
Okay. Okay, it's 5:30, it's 5:51, so we're gonna back to it, start the public hearing.
in progress.
Please. Okay, so now we'll open the public hearing at 5:32 p.m. County Executive Officer, we have a formal presentation on the related community development grant. So presentation to you and we'll open up.
Good afternoon, board members, members of the public. My name is Bella Cole, I'm the CEO of the County of San Benito. And I thank everybody to make effort today. I know it's hard to do my work, but I appreciate you all being there. We need to take advantage as much as possible. I will go ahead and start discussing the community development program. Community development program is known as CDB program. This is funding that is available at the federal level. They may have it comes through the state for all jurisdictions like the County of Benito. It's known as the national in communities. We don't get reg allocation on the federal government, but we small network government. And the rule usually is county less than 200,000 in population, cities less than 50,000 population are considered non-entitled funding comes from federal government to state. Just keep an initial funding. So the program purpose more than anything is to provide support for housing and community flows as well as economic development. There have a variety of programs and projects that you can apply for. Every year, the state of California receives from federal government $27 million that is available for non-entitlement. Now, in California, there are about 508 cities and counties that are eligible for the funding. So it's a big fight for funding. So if you think about $27 million available for that number of restrictions, it's very competitive. So focus mostly low and moderate income residents, which is 8% of median income. And the deadline to apply is April 3rd. Find out this in like 3 weeks in 2026, September 2026. And if we get award in the contract, we have 3 months to complete the preschool programs. Now, as mentioned before, it's only eligible for cities and counties. And I need to keep in mind because a lot of nonprofit organizations have asked about the apply only cities and counties, and they have to be 9 in the state of California. Cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, they read the direct allocation from the Housing and Urban Development federal government. We read the same through the competitive base. However, nonprofit organizations can be sub-recipient of this fund as long as the county applies the contract and the county signs a sub-recipient agreement with the nonprofit organization of the private program. So staff has been working in HSS hierarchy. They already have in mind apply for $3,000 for public service to private at a time. They're being available in 4 categories. Number 1 is public services. Public services are programs that are available like Meals on Wheels, home population, services, cleanups, and in the to the public service, utility services, assistance to individuals, affordable assisted rental, those kind of programs. Planning department is only available for studies, like facilities. Let's say that we implement a housing program, we have to do a housing assessment sometimes, so we can show that we have need that, or we can do other reports that assist when we're setting grant applications. It's not meant for planning grants like science, engineering science, unless currently we made an application for construction. So let's say we're doing a project that is affordable house project, we can submit the planning grants at the same time, but as long as it's connected with that project. That's the only time you apply for engineering science and environmental chemistry in that particular portion. Projects, we have available of $3 million to apply. Infrastructure assets like $3.2 million if I'm mistaken. Programs are about $0.3 million. Programs like housing programs, like housing rehabilitation programs can be available for the category. And however, this fiscal year, and change every year, I want to keep that in mind. Every year, the housing, the State of California Housing Community Development makes decision before the beginning of the year how to distribute the funding. And the way they do it based on behaviors, those applicants, so how to apply and how they spend the funding. This year is a very unique year because $3.6 million level. That's also my funding in the level. Urge them to apply. If you think about what you said before, if you have $27 million available, then all 9 applicants might be eligible for funding out of 196. That's give you an idea how committed the funding is. So each decision submit to 3 applications, and it be divided in 1 project, infrastructure project, 1 program, or public service program, or 1 project, 2 public service plan or planning program, 1 program, and 2 service planning. So you cannot make the following combinations to just programs through public services. We can approve, we can apply with only up to 2 from public services. So the only in combination with the HSA, we have been looking at the possibility to apply for $2.6 billion. We are the decision maker. We are required by State of California and federal government to public to let people know about it being available. Public participation is encouraged. Actually, get additional 1 week live with public hearings, and more netting will get signatures to put the price. I want you to keep that in mind. One of the places that I'm going to go to the project a little more is the live experience. As you know, the project has been on for the last 3 or 4 years, and the county secured about $1.1 million through data library and accordance with impact fee as well. We look to apply at $3 million. And we're setting aside the homeless service $300,000 and the other $300,000 for services provided by HSA. And the reason why we do it is because costs have increased so much in the last 3 years. The last cost estimate was done approximately 2 years ago. And even though they did an escalation time and escalation percentage, the economy has changed very much lately, and especially in the current circumstances we're facing right now. If you go to that state right now, you see the gas be $5 or $6 a gallon right now, and it's due to current medical situation. So I wanted any chance. And the middle project will fund to go to the peak. And the key is very difficult financial situation to commit additional funding for the library. We want to take a proactive step by going to apply to additional funding. Now, with that in mind, I would like to go and allow HA to talk about 2 projects that they have in mind to apply. That is provide services to the community. If you, Enrique, can come, and I'll work with you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, members of the Board of Public. Acton Human Services Agency, the Community Services and Workforce Development, will be submitting 2 public service applications. One will be in category of homeless service, requesting $300,000. As you may know, the shelter known as the Home for Trained Meals and Harm Home opened in December 2017 and it does require over $500,000 to operate the shelter. The facility is equipped with 56 beds, 40 male and 16 females, provide meals per day. They provide a range of supportive services, including rapid house case management. There is a laundry room on site. There's also computer lab, daily security, and really the support that we need. One of the activities that we will provide. So receiving CDB monies is essential. We have received in last year as well, CG money only for the construction of the shelter, but also for public services operating shelter. This activity will be applying for is under the youth category and public service youth category in the same amount of $3,000 for a program we call the Dream Catcher Program. And this program provides scholarship assistance for low-income children and youth who would otherwise not have the ability to participate in after-school activities and school activities of their choice. That's why it's called Dream Catcher Program. So if a young child would like to participate in baseball and soccer and arts, dancing, whatever activity of choice, we have this program. We would have a program available to them so they could participate. And especially we have a need with the lower income family has not only one child need, but maybe 2 or 3 times more. And that'd be quite clear. This program is really assisted, anticipate serving no less than 120 participants on a year. And this program is also gonna include a summer youth activity so that young individuals can also be engaged during the summer months and earn a skill, earn a wage, and for to be occupied during summer. Since 1986, the Benito HHA with SWD has received 21 CDB grants, totaling approximately $30 million, and range from house rehab, domestic violence services, food assistance, homelessness services, youth employment programs, child construction, utility assistance, and others. And these grants have been administered by HHA, CSCD, also with the advisory of the Community Action Board, and final approval of the supervisors have been established every time an application is submitted. So that includes the activities that we will be applying as well in public services.
So, as previously mentioned, the county pre-very expansion set aside $9 million and additional $3 million for additional funding available from impact fees. We're looking at the possibility to apply up $3 million to on a competitive basis, and to also include to this very competitive a community warming and cooling center. I just want to make sure that everybody understands the difference between cold warming and cooling center and the shelter. Cooling center and warming center are meant to be available at high peaks of the weather during the day working hours of the facility. It's not meant to have shelters. It's not meant to have beds. That's what we have the shelter available in case someone needs to stay overnight during those peak hours. For cooling centers, most of the times during the day when we have heat, so the facility will have this partition area available specifically to use during the day for other activities that if needed to high peaks, the warming, having a very high mean rate, then be on from 8 to 5 and have the available to come to facility. It's not for just overnight. But I think it's also important to have facilities. We do not have this experience with the county. So I did with cooling centers. It was very competitive. I mentioned before, public input is very important in the CDB program. The state has a chapter about public hearings and participation from residents. It's important that your voice are heard what programs, projects you believe are needed in the community. We left in the end, if you please, sign the signing sheet. But we're also going to address everyone that comes to the point to make comment regarding projects, whatever you would like to see in the future for the application. To send Mr. has a list, and we're going to send this on with the things that you during this public hearing. The application deadline is on April 3rd. So today is March 13th. It's a public hearing. Originally, it was known at this hearing to listen to the community and then board to make a decision to give a direction about what we need to like for or may explore other options, grant applications, depending on the response to the public hearing. March 23rd, we're in a second opportunity to use the fruit library and have me over there chat to the community and explain the program works. If you have a demo question, that will be the right time. And March 21st will be another special meeting, 9 o'clock in the morning. This meeting to get approval of the resolution for the Board of Supervisors on a public hearing, so that we can meet the congregation April 3rd. Now, I have to, so there's some challenge for this applicant. I'm a believer that if you try, you get anything done. So we need to try. The reality is this facility is including an expansion of the library to these areas that you see in the back of the building are 2 areas that are included in the time plans to be demolished and to expand the facility library. No 6 time to get in. It's all a requirement for the PNAC. Our goal is trying to address those issues before the education line, and they're very difficult to meet that line. But I still want to try, even if we don't have those documents in place, and submit a letter, submit that we're going to have stock ready the next months. The reason I'm most concerned, if you can see that picture, if you pay attention to those pictures, mostly that will have best. It's abandoned building, it's not used. But the problem is, once you start modeling, it's going to create a national cost. And I want the board to be aware, even though we have ground for 3 years, no equal documents ever done. It is required that every public agency, with or without grant funding, process a sort document. It wasn't. So now we're like, I just find out about the justice. And it's telling me because I really make this big happen. Among the other challenges is benefiting income, mothering income. Heavy challenge because we're not meeting that criteria. However, I want us to come here at the library. The library is the only library available in the county, besides San Bautista, they have their own library. Other than that, this is the only library available in this county. That's huge for us in Kennedy. So we need a library expansion. Adding the cooling center and warming center is a plus. Having a special service that Austin going to describe to you about all the services the library provides that a lot of people don't know. That's why it's so essential for us to pursue the funding in the case the state, but they need having additional funding.
Thank you, St. Curtis County Library. And so our library is more than just a place for books. It's a community hub for the residents of San Benito County. So it's the only like meeting places that people can provide accessible space and essential services where members can gather, connect, learn, and access resources support their lives. And especially for individuals that have historically faced barriers to access, including low-income residents, older adults, individuals with disabilities, and those experiencing housing instability. They use the library as a safe space and to meet others, gather resources, and their daily lives. So some of our activities, the library actively supports community-based group that help with special needs individuals by providing an area that they connect and support one another. This library helps create a safe and inclusive environment, foster social connection, reduce isolation for participants. Additionally, provide access to technology tutorials, the increase in technology, the gap of the digital divide increase, so providing services to individuals and for low-income residents, older adults who not have reliable internet access or ways to learn technology, provide one-on-one tutorials. They set up, and so we started a monthly tech help sessions. And in addition, during summer and also throughout the year, the library provides important insecurity. So we act as a meal site, and for children ages 0 to 18, we receive meals throughout the week, and we implement our programs. And then in summer months, we extend this to a state grant to provide enrichment programs with meals. And this helps ensure that children continue to receive nutritious meals in school, not in session, kind of helping them continue to learn and also helping with food insecurity in the county. Thank you.
As you see, they're very nice, just libraries, books, place where people meet. The place I was when I used to walk every day in the library. So I would see a group of individuals, professors walking on the street with a table, children walking in the library. It's a place for them to feel the community meeting there. Facility right now has challenges with ADA accessibility. So we're going to target those, but I want to be from you. This is a very challenging practice to make program application. I was informed that we will not be able to see when the idea is to make the application and explain how important this library is for the community of San Benito, and to potentially get a part of the funding or the funding. All people, if we get $3 million, but I want to make any process, especially the environment issue we have addressed. I want to stop because they really jumped into the last week trying to get this grant, putting it together. Dulce, Gracie, and Steve, and Abraham, our culture manager over there in the Damon Beast, that we all can together to make happen or meeting the deadline. It's going to be very challenging, but I want to be aware that we do our best effort to get this project moving forward. If the board approves us to meet the application. As we mentioned, the idea is listen to the community, like the budget and the programs. And when we finish the position, you open the door for comments. We're going to write in all comments, and those can go along the applicant to the state. The singers, everybody list. So feel that it's getting your press visit. It's just wishing it that back for to make it a case to the state of California. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. With that, we'll go to public comment and start getting input from the community.
If you haven't already provided a speaker card in the back, please put your name on and turn them in me. On Zoom, press 9 or the 10 icon, and in chambers, start with, I think, Norton. And then following, when he's done, will be Timmy Avila, followed by Seth Flores.
All right, Chair here and good afternoon. My name is Zoe Norton. I'm a resident of Rome, so I'm currently serving as president of the board of directors for the City Council of Cruz and Counties. In the past, I'd like to thank the board, first of all, for your ongoing support of old service. Your commitment to aging population has not gotten unmissed, and it's made a difference in people's lives. However, as we look at potential CDB public service funding, we find ourselves in a position. It's truly unfortunate that so many worthwhile services must compete against each other for such a limited pool of financial resources. Every program under consideration provides value. Today, I must advocate fundamental human necessity, nutrition. The number of our senior nutrition meals on this program tell a story about success and growing crisis. In January, we served 140 seniors with the congregate meals at 152 homebound seniors through Meals on Wheels, providing nearly 3,000 meals in 1 month alone. There's currently 7 seniors in our community on the wait list for home delivery meals. There are 47 of our neighbors who are elderly and need, from whom funding just not available. The CBD public service category allowed for up to $3,000 for social emphasis. I'm requesting the board direct a portion of funds currently marked for other services to senior nutrition. Using these for meals aligns perfectly with counties focus on low and moderate income residents and directly support the goals of master plan region. By addressing waiting lists, we are not just providing food to prevent malnutrition and reducing the likelihood of costly emergency room visits or premature institutionalizing. I know choices these are difficult, but I urge you to prioritize hungry seniors currently waiting for help. Let's ensure that in San Benito County, no seniors that wonder where the next money come from. Take your time and your dedication.
Afternoon, Chair Board of Supervisors. My name is Tammy Aviles, and I am president of the Friends of the San Benito County Free Library. Thank you to the board for making the library expand project a priority for 2026, and we are definitely looking forward to seeing forward. And the grant will definitely help. As the CEO said, we received the $9 million grant in late 2022, and there's the county match with impact funds and then with additional funds. Applying for this grant and getting the additional money will definitely help. As CEO stated, costs have gone up since we started this project. And it's fun that we're talking about this now because this month is the deadline from the original deadline of the grant. And we're lucky, the county's very lucky that we got it extended. So, let's put forward. I did bring, for anyone that is interested, the rendering of the extended library. It's along the wall. You can take a look. And if you've been to the library and you can start in for new library, I think you'll get excited along with us. Obviously, I'm in favor of applying for the grant. We do have, I know it has it, we are all circulating the support list for anyone sign. And I have that for the library expansion. And I also have one for the senior nutrition because I am, I am president of the Seniors Council of Santa Cruz and San Benito County. So I'm also advocating for some of the money going toward senior nutrition. At board, we work San Benito County. When I live San Benito County, so it's important to us, and we want to make sure to bring as many services we can here to take care of our ever-growing senior population. And I guess as a personal note, I caretaker my in-laws, and I personally have not put them on the list from delivered because I know that there's issues, and thank you for your support over the past several years, and continue to look forward to working with you as partners, the Friends and Seniors Council. Thank you.
Seth's clean up, following him, we Tanya, followed by Harvey.
Good afternoon, board. Thank you so much. I don't have anything written down, so it's going to come straight from my heart. I'm basically here supporting the arts. I think the arts are a very critical part of the community. It gives us a chance to develop our youth. We're primarily Latino coalition. One of the original founders of the San Carlos Arts Council was celebrating 20 years. Also, a member of Toro Campino, we're celebrating 60 years. So, my own experience in art brought us to it because I grew up at Mike Farmer, planting onions, 6 years old, in cotton, 100-degree weather, 10 years old. That's what I want to be. And these opportunities were there, and I think this is an opportunity for us to bring arts, to bring this youth up. One specific project they're working is starting a mariachi group in conjunction with the school district. So that's very critical. We got a real good part of the school district. We got to tie in. So we need a little funding, hire a teacher to teach kids how to play. And that's very, very important for everybody's life, especially our community. The art is here to stay, and arts gives us identity. So that's it. Thank you.
Hello again. I am sincerely with the Community Action Board, and representing District 3 in support of the county's community development grant service application, which engaged spoken more detail. But one thing I wanted to point out is that through our recent community needs assessment and direct outreach to residents, two priorities have constantly risen to this top. And these are the two that Enrique also mentioned. And with the CAB report, we would work along workforce, and they used us to do these assessments with the community, find out what is that they listed. And the top two were support for individuals experiencing homelessness and expand opportunities for youth. Based on that community input, recommended supporting for two programs: shelter or operations, which sustain critical services for individuals and families experiencing homelessness. Second, the Dreamcatcher Youth Program, which provides youth enrichment and development opportunities, including summer employment for low-income youth. These priorities come directly from the voices of the community, and we strongly support the county's submission. We want to be proactive in support families in crisis and invest in opportunities for our youth. It's not just address today's needs, we're strengthening the future of San Diego County. Thank you.
So Harvey Sandoval, followed by Clayton and Marie Egg following.
Good evening. Thank you for the presentation. The one question I have, or a question I have, the city, there are numbers there in San Benito County. I understand one always gets behind, but feel that way. Let's say this recent church passed along the count numbers, and it's about 50 seniors. We have a small group, San Juan. This is a picture of the recent lunch we had, and as important as the food is provided to people there, I mean, it's phenomenal type of people that are doing it. The social part of it becomes such that if you go to one of our lunches, you ask people in general from. They're from Ulster, from Roma, from everywhere. So you share story with them, you share history with them. And just to give you an example, Karen, a family of Mary Cullen, it goes way back. So we just ask that, from the standpoint of, is it the funding, how it's set up? I don't know how you set the funding as far as priority. Just keep in mind that there's probably 60, 70 seniors there every week, and they're sharing food and they're sharing story, and that's what we continue with. Thank you.
Executive Director of the local area agency on Jing. And I really want to thank staff and the board for having this hearing, but also screening up this grant to get with such short notice. Really kudos for the ground running your new position. I think it's a great proposal. I am concerned about it's focusing on student populations rather than community needs as a whole. So other people are making the case the need of seniors. Do have a hand about some senior facts, which all of you can hear. I do also want to make a case that San Diego County has the third fastest growth rate in the last sense of older adult, and statewide the growth of under 49 population is less than 1%, but the older adult population grown by over 40%. And in our town, it's closer to 70%. We have a huge need in this community, and I think things vital. Food is kind of as basic as you can get for community need. But I don't want to come up and pitch you. They're kind of like nightmare people that are trying to better the community. I think it's really the nightmare for all of you too. So I suggest a tweak the application. And rather than have it be about the library brainer, but rather than have it focus on youth and homeless, maybe have it focus on food shelter or food shelter need. And that way it doesn't pit any population against another, but it can really support the sustenance, really probably the base building blocks of life. Food, a roof over your head. I don't think anything is more important than that. So I encourage us to look at that way, and that will give us that flexibility to meet greater need for all the populations. The other thing, besides, to make it more inclusive rather than exclusive, one advantage in terms of scoring grant is our new master plan for aiding. It's being looked at a lot of different funding decisions, funding sources at the state level. So it should boost the appeal is great. If we put in references to feeding older adults, it's tying with the state's master plan for aging. I think that boosts everything for all of us. Hopefully give us some bonus points. So that's really my comments. Again, thanks to all of you for hearing the public on these issues and trying to meet needs of the community's best as well. Doing the same.
As Mary Ed's coming up, she'll followed by Karen CC and then Marion Silva.
Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors. My name is Mary Skissich, and I'm here representing the Mayor Velasco Sala Senior in Juan Bautista. We have been a nonprofit since February of 2024. We started cooking lunches May 4th of 2024, and we have consistently fed people. In the very beginning, we thought we were going to end up maybe a dozen people, but we ended up with over 20. And just last week, we had 8 seniors the first time. We're up to 60. We offer classes, activities, crafts, and it's something that our seniors really look forward to. The lunches, the gathering, the camaraderie that is happening, the connections they're making, the people that have seen each other for 20 years and they're seeing each other at the lunches. I'm here to advocate for our seniors. we are in desperate need of aid. Okay, currently we are meeting at the VFW in San Juan Bautista. And there are many challenges that we have had, but we really need help with a permanent temporary location while we look into the building, erecting a building in San Juan Bautista. It's a goal we have had, and it's reachable, but we need your support with funding. And I have to thank you for inviting us here to put out you and let you know what our needs are. And it's funding for our seniors. And I have to say that we seniors are important as anybody else. And Clay said, I don't want to pick us against the youth because they are very important also. But more of us are living longer, and we need that connection that we have. So I thank you for listening to me this evening, and I'm out of time.
Karen, Stacy?
Hello, I'm Stacy. I am Mary Velasquez Allen's older daughter, and we were asked by Mary and if other wanted to start this program in San Juan. I wasn't too sure about it. I was worried about it. My mom was a social worker in the county for 37 years, and to follow in those footsteps and helping all people she helped, I could never even film. But here we are, starting with 12 people in my daughter's home, serve lunch, to now between 60 and 70 a week. We also do health, things like vaccination for our seniors. We do programming on Alzheimer's, caregiving, and the number one thing for this is bingo. So I'll go after lunch, but it's really a pleasure to be helping our seniors. My mom never wanted anyone to go hungry. And so my daughter is a chef. She is an emergency room nurse at CHOMP. She calculates every calorie, everything these seniors, and make sure they have it, a very healthy diet. And I'm just here to say, please help us with whatever. And I appreciate the time you've given us. Thank you so much for attending.
Marion's walking up, will be followed by Mickey, Gloria Luna, and then Joe.
Hello. Thank you to the board for letting me have the opportunity to speak. I'm not a very public speaker, and I don't have any notes, so I get brief. I live in San Juan Bautista. I'm here today to support the Velasquez Allen Senior Center, and I'm also the secretary of the Mary Velasquez Allen Senior Center. One thing I know, I lived in San Juan for a long time, but I would come here, and like everyone else, I'd up in the morning, I'd leave town, because I have to drive, come home. What I didn't realize is, while San Juan is a beautiful place to live, where senior citizens can also be isolated to live. So extremely important not to have to drive somewhere else, to be able to have that camaraderie that can have when you have a place for seniors that can meet. Because basically, we're all going to get old, and as we age, while we love our family dearly, they generally leave us. So it's important to keep them occupied. It keeps people healthy. And while they're doing that, they're also serving fabulous meals to them. And as it's growing, they've also been adding, like, say, different types of events, the big games, the yoga, things to keep people healthy and happy and together. So really, all things I've seen today and listened to, they're all very worthy programs to give each. But I hope that in everyone's heart that they can remember that tiny little community, San Juan Bautista, which is a long time, San Benito County, and just have additional support. So well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Mr. Chairman and members of the supervisors, it's nice to hear again. And I was going to say good morning, but we're here in the afternoon. But anyway, it's nice to stand here before you and have that face-to-face conversation about the importance of every program in San Benito County. What I just presented is exactly, we all talk about meetings and time to time. What I want to mention to you, I'm on senior board as well. Also, I have worked for over 50 years with students from high school and junior high. And we're actually, our student group has from a few groups that got together at high school to 1,274 students. So that is a lot of students in San Benito County that we have with record. How we now have returned our music program and mariachi and service that we do have. It's important for us to remember that students' music is what actually transforms students' life. And I think it's important that if given the opportunity to fund a music program of the arts, I can sure say that I listening to Ms. Rodriguez speak, and I think everything that he said about youth and programs is right up our alley. And I really believe that when our youth group and our organization, Latin called in San Vito County, from February 10, 1988 here. And also, when we have anything to share, we share with our youth, that's future. And we were able to receive, get those instruments. We heard the Baylor band. Some of the kids did a trumpet, or the stout trumpet. We checked the guitars, the guitar group at the high school. Mr. Oz Academy, and all of may remember Mr. Oz Academy music. We got the instruments to him, and he shared with a lot of students that he had at his academy. So we are here hoping that we consider the arts of actually being granted some funding so that we continue the program. The music program and mariachi. We realize we have a mariachi students go to Elroy and come back to Hollister, but think of what music does to children. Instead of them walking around with a phone in their hand. I'm sorry, I tied up. Anyway, I hope we'll consider mariachi instruments and how we can help us fund. Thank you.
Really quickly, is the community here at feedback constantly? Okay, can we take a break and see if we can do something about that? Or?
So doesn't hear it. So
Or it's only the building?
I don't know.
Okay,
Like now we don't hear it. So that my phone I'm doing?
all right.
And then that?
Pretend it's not there.
He's not hearing it. We communicating women. He's in here. So next, Joe, followed by Susan Howard, and then Bill Lee.
Good evening, Supervisors. I was if you had heard of this happening a third, but I guess it was specific for this item. Just wanted to ask real quick if we can open public comment again at the end of this item, after this item, because you can see people showed up after 5 o'clock, after public input period. I'm sure that things to say, so I just want to ask that we do again, because I heard 30, and I have a click on my phone saying it's meeting at 5:30. And a little too that is fuck. Who know any about really? Just like to ask try again, and if we could try again at this meeting or find another meeting or something. Just want to again because a lot of people here showed up after the public comment. Sure they'd like to speak. Thank you.
Susan Howard.
Thank you, Suzanne. Hi. I am happy to be able to be tonight and exercise my First Amendment right, freedom of speech, and my right as a U.S. citizen to have representative government. And it's incentivized by government in the points that we'll receive for having attendance because at this mandatory application. I really am excited that I speak tonight. That was my point. I understand I need to speak on this topic. So I'd like to echo Clay's comments about not trying to group 6 teacher, but look diet and shelter, food and shelter as a whole. Students in California get free breakfast and lunch should choose to take it. And so we are looking at some meals for kids and a lot of meals sounds like for seniors. So again, rather than getting them mixed together and putting in this bucket and this bucket, have one bucket for food and shelter that helps everybody. And would love to speak to you every time you have a meeting evening. Thank you.
As Bill Lee's coming up, next one's following them will be Trish Garcia, Laura Moore, and Sue Look.
Good evening, Chair, board members. I think you'll know you, but I appear tonight in capacity as executive director of this kitchen. We are your primary provider in this committee for senior meals at the senior center here in Hollister, as well as the Meals and Wheels program. And I'm really glad to see this application for CDG. We operate in no other counties, and this is a really critical funding mechanism to keep programs like this alive and can happen. The thing Clay said too, I want to underscore, I'm very much in agreement when you want to do everything you can to get this application successful, because it's unsuccessful. No money comes to the community, no one gets anything at all. But with respect to senior nutrition, yes, there are 47 people on the waiting list, but there are many more want services that don't put their name on the waiting list. The reason is when somebody's a senior getting out of the hospital and they only going to need this on weeks for maybe 3 months, the waiting list is too long. We took over the program July 1st last year. There were people on the waiting list, been on the waiting list since as long as 2020 and 2021. We whittled a lot of that away. We've whittled that waiting list down with nobody in that waiting list has been on for more than a year or so. It's a long time wait to eat. I also make sure you understand that Meals and Wheels, it's partially about nutrition. It's not only nutrition. We welfare checks on the people. The people we deliver to our driver is only human being they see a day. Are people at home who live with someone, but they're not there during the day. That person is suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, or left alone all day long. Our driver check is the only care they have. This thing's critical. My organization is we subsidize the efforts in San Diego County. In the past, CDG money provider, we were ineligible the last couple of years. Housing element was not approved by the state. Now compliance, we're out there. Thank you. Really need to take our look at what we're doing, include everybody in this, and the senior nutrition, and you're hearing it from people tonight. It's very, very important part. We also provide the senior meals at the center here in Hollister, as well as we in the community center in San Juan Bautista. We do one day a week in Alaska Center. It's another couple of days IB, but it's more meals as you've heard. Thank you for consideration.
Patricia, are you still here? Oh.
Thank you, both supervisors and everybody who attended this meeting. So I'm also a public figure, so I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm here today to advocate for senior nutrition funds, especially this grant and being considered for it. Many of the seniors that we serve are homebound, as my boss said, without any family or support system. Many, our team presents the only constant human contact. These individuals not only need reliable nutritious meals, but also benefit deeply from the handship and informal wellness checks that our staff provides during each visit faced with every single one of them. A number of seniors who serve are also living on the edge of financial, sometimes making difficult choices whether paying for food or covering essential bills. And programs like this help alleviate that burden and provide a critical safety net to our aging population. Beyond those, our services provide overall health being, and that's without doubt fact. Our exercises consist of mobility. They help reduce risk of falls. Our arts crafts activities, they aim at maintaining cognitive function and easing symptoms of arthritis. Our congregate meal programs create opportunities for social connection, help reduce isolation, and a sense of community among the seniors. The importance of these services became especially clear during the COVID-19 pandemic, where seniors experienced extreme isolation. With limited contact, many face increased loneliness and depression, which has serious impact on both mental and physical health. This underscores how essential consistent engagement and support truly are. Without adequate funding, program participation, senior services, and activities are at risk, leaving an already vulnerable population without resources they rely on to stay healthy, connected, and safe. I strongly urge you to consider a portion of the CBG funds to support senior services in the community. Doing so, invest in dignity, health, and quality of life for those who need it most. Thanks, time.
Sorry, Laura, then Sue, Luke, and Elise.
Might be getting big. Okay. Thank you, Chairman of the Board and CEO for being the applicant for. My name is Laura Moore. My family moved here about 5 years ago from Maryland. My husband's a park ranger in Pinnacle National Park. And the first thing I did was I took the kids' car, I was going to the library. And they're like, oh, fine. So I drove by the library. I came from a city outside of Washington, D.C. Level, brand new library. And they got here, they were just smaller. It doesn't really mean that it's smaller. Still got books, still has the resources. And then this day I found there's the friends group, and I contacted Susan Logue. I've been on the board now 4 years, and I'm excited about this project. I'm actually a librarian. I still work for the D Court of Appeals in Washington, D.C. I go back every 4 months to work. And I really want you to support this application, try to help make sure the library expansion becomes a reality. I know we've all talked about Rogers a little bit when something's happening, you look at the helpers, and truly believe that our libraries, our communities, all those institutional helpers where everything flows from the library, you're a child or a senior or adult or a new parent, it's there to everyone and a resource that I think overflows to multiple different parts of life. So I would encourage you to support this applicant.
Here, getting bored. CL, you all for being here in the library. Thank you to our community for being so thoughtful. There's so many needs that we have, as we all know, and it's all equally, worthwhile. So I hope you do so with the art and the needs. But I want to share with the library yesterday. Say I'm Susan Logan. Oh, yeah, okay. I was at the library. I was touring, and I was 1/6ers, so pretty full to reach the table. And the ages were from maybe 6 to 17, so that's very interesting to see a number of people, English, Spanish speaking. So it's surely a need for small rooms to work in and help each other. And the other interesting part I just shared is when I was teaching and I was working in Haro, my school library closed due to so I didn't have access to books. So I came to the San Diego County Library and got books there. And I got audio sets like the kids to listen to. So the library really helped in many ways, me professionally, but then all my students in a roundup way. And then in addition to that, our summer reading program will be very popular, and it's free and it's inclusive. We have chair yoga right now, it's very popular, knitting, and often set like a teen area. So teens come in after school and they're going there and playing with the puzzle stuff and cooking. So I just support the application. I know there's a lot of decisions to be made, but we're behind you 100%. So thank you.
Elia,
Okay, got it. Yes, Inez. So as current administration has decided to cut funding for children meals at school and for seniors meals and for SNAP benefits, we have no problem on spending $1 million a day on bomb children and seniors in another country. We had not spend the money here in this country for our citizens. I'm here to advocate that our federal government will not help us. We need to help ourselves in this community. You need to seek the funds out. Martha Kitchen has done a fantastic job since they came here last summer. By the way, not only feeding our senior citizens in San Benito County, but they're feeding the TSA employees that are currently not being paid by the current administration but are being forced to work. Martha's Kitchen and others are feeding them. The libraries are very important. I believe that they're a safe place for kids. As Sue just said, the kids hang out there doing puzzles. Kids go there. They use Wi-Fi, and because they don't have anywhere other place to go. They don't have anybody home to take care of them. So the parents, instead of daycare, go to the library, and that's where they wait until parents come by and come. So it's really important. Another thing I think you should concentrate on is with regards to the houseless. We spent millions of dollars on building the tiny homes, and you're not finished yet. The encampment of 40 people in Soledad, Monterey County, actually eliminated. They relocated all 4 people. They were able to receive a grant of just under $5 million and establish a 16-bed program by clearing out the seniors a lot. And I just need you to know that there are seniors out there at the river. And I know you're going to start again clearing the river. Where do the folks go? You need to finish tiny homes. You need finances for that. They need doctors. They need dentists. They need counseling. They need some of them need rehab. They're not out because they want to be there. They have other because there's a story to be told. We don't know what their stories are to be told. We shouldn't be out about the issues that are out there for. So I think, again, as a community, we have the duty that we must help our senior citizens, help our children, help the homeless. Thank you.
That concludes public comment.
Thank you. Thank you for all the public comment, everyone. We'll bring it to the board now. Anyone want to start with comments? Because me.
Go ahead. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This is amazing. This is truly this is all about. So I think really need, as a board, I'm just encouraged the board to really truly take the public comments into consideration. They're here. There are people of this community. I appreciate the staff's recommendations. At the same time, we answer you. So what I heard today, I have a couple questions. The Dream Catcher program at Enrique, FVK, do you have a moment? Is he still? Okay, there you are. There was a lot of generality, kind of, and I understand that that's, you're not going to finite detail. Who would be theoretically overseeing such program as it being proposed? Or would it be like some sort of contractor or?
We've secured funding in the past. There's only been one application through CDBG that received $60,000, and we operated with HSA. We don't necessarily provide the services, the arts support. We provide the mechanism for young children to access the service. So we interact with local vendors. So someone would be interested, the family would apply in office. We interact with the vendor. We have submit what they need to the county, and then would issue payment directly to the vendor, benefiting the children interested in those activities. So that's how we manage programs.
So it's administered by HS. So what I would this Dreamcatcher program to incorporate what's been requested from the group that Sarah and Mickey Luna mentioned, having some things set aside the art for this music program that they sounds like that could incorporate it into this program. That'd be the only way that, because there are so many requests, there are so many different ways to go. We can only do 3 applications, it's like. So I'd like to get as much out of 3 applications as possible to get encompassing as we can throughout the community. I would be willing to consider supporting the Dreamcatcher concept if we can incorporate the program that's been mentioned by the commenters here tonight.
The counseling and group would be a leader. We could also implement this youth activity by partnering with local organizations and then in turn provide the service. It's really the categories youth services and eligible activity, so that can be an option as well.
I think it would be vital to include requests is what I'm getting at, just as far as it can go a lot of different directions. I think just had interest. I think there certainly would be interest in the community that we know we get a tangible benefit. I'd like to have things that I can come out of this process that I know we're going to tangible benefit from, as opposed to sort of broader, will apply for these categories of kind. I'd like to get detailed possible. So that's one. So appreciate that, KQ. I think
thank you.
Answer the question. As far as the senior center in San Juan, I certainly support that. Obviously, I represent San Juan, but also point out that it does, I think when others pointed out, it does serve necessarily people that live within San Juan. I would fight for those if it was one San Juan, but really the entire county, another option. People that, for Rome, it's 25, 30 minutes to Hollister. For San Juan, some people don't transportation, So I would like to support that where it's included just seniors San Juan, or the meals for seniors. We got to step up for seniors. And I think it's pointed out multiple times, we have an aging population. I think senior services is an area where our community has frankly lagged, and we need to do a better job, and there'd be an opportunity to start doing a better job for our seniors here in this community. Could the senior center / meals be incorporated as for the program categories? Because there's, the program category can go up $1.5 million when I'm raising.
No, the way that works, we're not applying for programs. We are applying for 2 public services. The post application is 2 public services and 1 project. You can only apply 2 public services, 1 plan and 1 public service.
I'm reading you can apply for 1 project plus program plus 1 public service or plan. And I'm reading that programs you can apply to 1.5 million, as public service 300,000, planning 100,000, projects 3 million, programs $0.3 million. Like what I'm saying is that to get the big bang of the possible buck they can get.
So you read the end presentation, there's three applications. Three applications can be two programs, one project, one program, and one public service. One project, two public service. So you can apply one program.
Right.
$1.5 million, but the total amount is $3.6 million.
Where does 3 apply more than $0.6 million? Am I mistaken?
You only apply up to
You
0.6.
apply 3.6.
So it has to be around those activities that you, so example, just give me an example. You can apply for one public service, one program for $11 million, and the library can apply for $1 million. But we need to have the amount, $3.6 million, maximum, three activities.
I think there should be some consideration. I'm saying that necessarily. I think we have more costs to go with more hearings, but I think there should be some consideration max for possibly lowering the library dollar amount to incorporate more dollars for some of these other services, because we are 15 million going to a library. I know we want more because there's applications, but you got to make things worth in the budget at some point. And, I'm fairly concerned about the escalation of the library budget and the fact that we're not reining in.
Yes.
And, we're building a 20,000 square foot, 50,000 square foot building. We're renovating a relatively small building. I understand it's complicated, but I want to challenge the committee with the mindset that we're keeping on that. And I understand there's some complications that come up. I don't know necessarily, we do need to apply for $3 million a project. We need to be open-minded about that.
I don't agree. The only problem that we have with the program, I'm going to be upfront, is readiness. How ready are you to submit application? A is March 17, the deadline is April 3rd.
Well, we have programs already in place. So,
Well, public services is different than a program. Program has to have guidelines and whole, it can be adapted. Because I'm saying it's impossible, I had an agreement. It can be possible, but it can be available.
okay, just to explore. If it's impossible, it's possible. Just to be open-minded. I appreciate the recommendation, but we're hearing the final decision. And then as far as the library, I just want to point out, it benefit everyone. It benefits very difficult. We can't all the 3 applications, but again, want to get as much of a vector we can as far as working here. The library really benefits seniors, youth, the youth in particular. I'm getting it's a really highly used facility, in particular for students after school. So a lot of the population at the library is for the kid come after school. They have a place to go. It offers resources. They do their homework there. So we are hitting youth, the library, hitting the seniors, and families, of course, as well. And then, so we're at library, yes. The youth dream catch program, if we incorporate the program was rested and the meals for seniors. Thank
you. Who'd like to speak next on? Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, need you back up. A little superior. Okay. So I've been dealing with this program for quite a few years. So I'm new on the board. Is it still the same where 1 year county, 1 year cities, or has it changed?
It's never really been 1 year as 1 year. The city has, as I said, provided resource, both general fund and from a CBG occasion. Most recently, years ago, PHA amount of $185,000.
I say that in the past, we worked together to maximize the dollar that we were getting. So to give the partner time to finish their project and the other city to work their projects and back to the county. So we were very efficient, as I recall. So I'm curious on that part. It's frustrating because C was correct. You can't just come up with a project and say, oh, we have a bad deal, let's do this. There's enough time. As we're finding out now, we're having problems with the library application. But I want to make sure that public understands how important it is to involve CAP time. Because CAP is really an important program or part of how this functions to apply for the future programs. I encourage all of you, if you're not involved yet, I'm having a hard time getting somebody to represent my district. And that this is one of the most important boards we can do for the community. You're all here supporting your groups, which is important. So I want to make sure public understands that part and how we work together. We can really be very efficient getting the larger projects done. I've experienced all the programs I heard today. My family has gone through. My kids and my mother-in-law is seniors there. And I can't say how wonderful it's been watching it. Ms. Flores, we've talked about the arts for years together, and kids went to the arts. Luna, all work even with our young people throughout the community has been back to our community. And we've seen that over and over. Clay, we were together how many years ago, but especially Pauline, the rest of us. My mother-in-law used to love going to bingo. And to lunch, the library. I'm very concerned that we're not going to get this done if we don't move. Yes, it's from the numbers I'm seeing, gone through the roof. If we don't move, get this done quickly, we're going to have it. That's my biggest fear. I don't know if we're going to pull this off because some of them will find out weren't, but no, we should try. And if we feel like we're not going to do it early in time, is there something else we do as a supervisor, as me? Each in your program, how difference can come through the programs. And that's why I'm urging all of you to really get involved with CAP program, because what happened really is we already have it all figured out long ago. And we're rotating to make sure we're using every dollar that we can get back from the federal government, because those are all our dollars. And it's disappointing to know for several years we weren't even receiving our dollars back. For different reasons from state level that were completely unfair. But we have to now get organized to do this. It's hard for me to just pick one group or another other than say, I'm going to have trust in what you recommended this year, because I know time is short. But I do agree with Mr. Cosmic. How do we open that up? Make sure we can get some kind of funding better next year to make sure we have the larger project and the smaller one fund to where everybody's going to get the money. We can get enough to each group, everybody keep funding, and then as they grow again, they start recruiting help. That's how all groups have known to function over the years. And it's amazing to watch the community come together to happen. So this year, I'll go with your recommendations. I do want to really pursue the library. That's maybe one of the top projects that I think we need to get done before we start grant on that project. And again, I thank all of you for taking time to be here tonight and being involved.
Can I please add a comment on? So state defines the service activities and they term a program. So when we say we're going to apply for service activities, they find progress a little bit different. So under their definition, $2.1 million is how we have program, better assistance program, micro enterprise programs, and purchase assistance. That's how they define the program. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
And just to give an example, I run the programs. Housing rehabilitation program is an extended home. There is the rate. We have to income set the individual, and we rehab the house. That program. It's a very clear print of programs. It has to have guidance, protocols, forms, and anything that's very challenging to get. I'm not saying simple. It would require out of work for us to have it available and be up to the board for that application. Other program is first-time home buyer program, in which if an individual wants to purchase a house and is eligible with income certification, if we like a back investigation, then we provide sex silent loan. So then I were to buy a house. That sex silent loan we have monitored every year for the next 20 to 4 years, depending on the amount of the loan. That's how it works. So it's our programs. Those public services different. You provide services, activities, more than any like activities you do, and then you complete it. That's not. The arts is one activity is eligible. We can the youth programs. They can have different activities between the program, but it's a different program service than public one because it's a more complicated program than public service.
I want to thank everybody here listening and everybody that works within our community as a volunteer, as an advocate for seniors or youth, as an advocate toward homelessness or addressing homelessness. We know we don't have to worry about the list of challenges that we have. What we have to worry about is prioritizing what is the best way to utilize these funds and serve as many people as possible. I have a couple of questions because I'm not an expert at CAB, and I know that I have had a challenging representative in the lower income area of District 4, but previously, when CAB did these feasibility study, you did the study basically determining that it was the youth and the homeless. Where's the senior in that? Because the majority of people that I'm hearing here this evening are talking about just being able to feed our seniors, and they're not sure where a meal is going to come from. So I'm curious because I totally support. If I had a magic wand and give everybody what you need, I would do it. But fortunately, that's not where we're at right now. And how can we do the bang for our buck with deadline of April 3rd? I know that we have to look at the future and plan better. How do we collaborate more? I think collaboration between what CAB is doing, the Board of Supervisors. I'm not fully aware of the updates that come just from CAB when the recommendations are coming from their community outreach. What community outreach are you doing? How can we expand that outreach? Make sure we're getting voices from everywhere. I mean, I have so many questions, and I know now this is not where we need to go. I need to be able to be a little more informed, educated on some of the feasibilities are and what the needs are being looked at. Because to me, everyone that is not housed or doesn't have food, those are major priorities for our community. The unhoused and the ones that are going hungry. The library project will agree completely with a colleague. If we don't get this project over the finish line, that money will be lost. Now, I also agree with my colleague. We have to be fiscally responsible with dollars as we possibly can. And how can we achieve? So the question I'm giving is, I agree we have challenges with getting the library project over the finish line. We have to be smarter with the money that we have, but we also have to have contingency. Otherwise, we will be dipping into things like general fund, which we cannot afford to do on our our resources are right now. Pardon. Senior meals is number 2. Really true senior meals. If seniors are not, we have a wait list that long, we have a major problem. We need to start really looking as a board and as CAB and as an administration and as a community, pushing back and writing to our current administration and explain how AR1 and other divisions that are coming to the administration are really hurting the little people and the little guy in our community. I don't mean that as little, but it haves and haves nots. We have to be looking at how are we going to recover from the programs that are not being funded. And we write and add, I mean, one of the things we do constantly, thank you so much for allowing me to represent you on CDAC and ACA, is that we have to always have us at the table. But it also means we need to do more advocacy. I need to write more firm lists that have support from the community of how unfortunate it is that we don't have enough money to go around. And as we already said, as said previously, if state doesn't step in with H1, we're really going to have major problems. So I'm all about supporting library moving forward as effectively and efficiently as possible can with taxpayer dollars. And I trust our staff to make sure that happens. We cannot, I understand the program, you know, there's 1.5 million. I think we have to be smarter in a long-term look at how we utilize those applications. We can't, in this short time frame, just don't see that be something that's going to be successful as being fun here for seniors. Public-private partnerships. We have a unique opportunity in the community right now. We have a new CEO for San Benito County. We have a recently somewhat new city manager for San Batista. We have a new city manager for the city hall. We have an executive director of the community foundation. We have to start breaking down the barrier of us and them and come together as a community, actually advocate as a team. Our voice together, and Speaker Rivas has this perfectly clear at a presentation of the, I believe it was Business Council, if I remember right, out of Gavilan College. I think it was the supervisor at, but I have that feeling not happy with myself, because what it was basically yelling at the county saying, if you guys can't get the community to unite behind programs and facilities and projects, how can I bring you funding? How can I put funding in the budget for San Benito County if we are fighting all the time about where is money come from and who gets? So I'm pushing myself, because the biggest challenge I have is how do we bring everybody together? Tonight is an amazing example that we can be brought together and we can have some common goals. It doesn't have to be a, you got the thing this time and I did it. No, it's how to help the residents of communities. So, oh, no, we need a community center, but more than anything, a big community center. A community center that brings youth services, the social services for seniors. We need more, and if we start to really unite, we can build those visions together and actually go after fun at this in federal level, and not let the little pot we have right now, and we're all just great to get a piece of it. So I think it needs to be broad when it comes to senior services, when it comes to meals. We need to have a broader written goal and application so that it should where it needs to shift. I don't agree that it needs to be more specific. I think it needs to be less specific so that we can grasp and get a bigger pool of people. So I do feel that I said programs I'm not going to be able to go for. I wish that the project in the library were in much state. I do think staff right now looking ahead, because can you imagine if we moved forward with library program, and then all of a sudden we build this library expansion and we discovered that we didn't check off box of grant funding, and we audited. And we have to give back all that money. Who's heard then? If we can't do it right, we need to relook what we're doing. And it's $3 million this time to save a library band project, then I think we need to do it. That's where I stand for now. I think I hit my checkpoints. Heart goes out right now to anyone that's unhoused, anyone that is from our youth, because unfortunately, they're the ones that always get brunt of things that happen, especially politically at a national level. So thank everyone again for being here today. But my folk right now, I've heard so far, not since final, but is the library, and then a more broad use for seniors, and adding music is always important. How can we collaborate with the Office of Education, and what grants can we through schools be able to fund a program and bring a real music teach into Benito County? Mr. O was amazing. It was amazing. Changed my son's life. And I know it can change others. So with that, I hope the board understands where I'm coming from on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, so amazing to have so many of you guys show up tonight and be able to hear from you. I'm so appreciative of sharing your story about your commitment, passion to the different organizations. It's really inspiring listening to it all. Here to know we have a community that cares so much. To have members that are here tonight, thank you so much. We appreciate hearing from you and really appreciate of your service on board. And I think that we probably need to be doing more, right? We need to be involved. We need to be learning about it. So it is no fault of anyone. We know all this. It's our responsibility. And so I'm committed to learning more and more engaged, go to a community. And I appreciate that you are doing this community assessment. I believe I emailed that and filled out survey. So good to see we're putting the information out there and how that information comes. Obviously, it didn't take care of all of the need in our community, right? We're seeing that tonight, we're seeing that youth is incredibly important and we cannot give up on the future generations of our community. And homeless services, you know, we need to take care of the people that are housed in our community. I have a couple of questions, and where are you?
Still here.
All right, a couple questions for you. On with the youth services, and it had 300,000 because it's the amount, the max we can apply for under the book, I think is what it said. Under youth services, we had Dream Catcher program, and I think we spent some time talking about that evening, and said that there are 120 beneficiaries of that program from last year. But also youth enrichment, mentoring, employment, and educational support. Do all of those fall under the Dream Catcher program, or those separate programs that we're considering that I need to make sure that I'm considering exactly what you guys are talking about? And so we've a lot on Dream Catcher. Is that all encompassing, or are different things that are so the other items?
It's actually all encompassing. So we integrate all these different elements in the education. As an example, educational support. We have worked with local tutors, and they come a vendor if they tutor someone who has that need. So when we get a youth come in the office to apply, they'll have those options. So they'll be eyeing what kind of you want, and rich activities, arts, summer youth, tutoring. What is incorporated part of the program, what they're interested in. That's why the Dream Catcher. Why a young individual, even for what want to participate, or otherwise they wouldn't be able to participate. So it'll be an element when the catcher.
Okay, great, thank you. So based on 120 beneficiary for the 300,000.
That my estimate, because out of the activities, the more what's going to cost them more summer youth. It'll be about 5-6 weeks youth program, about 30-hour a week. Other programs how it's been managed for. There's a maximum annual allocation for a service. Last that we had, it was $100. So we paid $700. Let's say the tuition was $100 a month. We pay that, plus we also paid $100 for equipment. So if that activity included, let's say guitar, let's say my guitar, we do to $50. That's the existing policy. Then I'll be updated based on funds that we have. We've always very little funding. CSG, City Community Service Grant, for we get very middle. So the action board has been allocated about $1,000 a year. But we just need.
Quick question regarding that. What was your funding for the Dream Catcher program this past school year? Do you know?
This fiscal $8,000.
$1,000. Okay, so you guys really looking at this as a potential to really make an impact with youth services is, I mean, we're 1,000 this last year and you're looking at 300. It's kind of you were going with that?
Correct. In 2016, we did a CBG, 60,100, I remember. And, the lines went 5 months, were all good.
Okay, so that's to my next question. Sorry, okay? Where are you advising? Like, how does the community find out about this Dream Catcher program?
We promote internally. We promote on our websites with all the nonprofits, social media. Because we limit funding, it goes really quick. Let's say we do $300. A lot of people have a problem. This program really spreads, and the month this takes on. We get a cheerleader, participants in cheerleading, football, soccer, arts, singing lessons, and so forth. But it's a very popular program.
It's remarkable. I learned a little about it. I think I had boarding or something, and you really talk about this, and it is really amazing what you guys are doing. I think like, my gosh, what an amazing, worthy project for us to do a fundraiser for something to really support our youth. We definitely need more. I spent time last week meeting with youth, about 25 youth at the Alliance, just talking about what the needs of youth. And there is much more we need to be doing for our youth. So thank you for answering the questions regarding the youth. Move over to the home services side. Hypothetically, if we were taking me look at seniors for this, or what would be the impact on the current homeless services that we provide if we diverted the funds somewhere else? What happened? What is the impact potentially? It's not funded, and it's funded partially, but it's not funded fully at 300. I mean, we have to make some decisions. We're going to be able to do 300. Are ways for us to bring it up. But I want to understand what the impact is. I understand it on the youth side now, but what is it on the home side?
Since we've opened the shelter in December 2017. It's been quite struggle seeking funding on an annual basis, so we need to ensure that we secure $106,000 at least annually. There's some years we've had monies, especially the first 3 years, and HSA managed to cover the difference. So it's not easy. It's you build a shelter, but you still have to maintain the operations. There's utility, there's repairs. So the worst case scenario, if we don't apply secure funds, the operations of the shelter could look different. Right now, it's 6 months 24/7 operation, and 6 months which hours of 4 p.m. and a.m. I would love for shelter to remain open 24/7 year-round. That's not the case right now, and it has to do with resources. We don't have resources, so we did secure recently through a state homeless housing assistance and prevention program for sure 159,000, so it could help 1 year. But by the time that we apply for this grant, we get, let's say we were to secure funding, Congress would after come back to the board, looking at later on, second, third, maybe quarter of next fiscal year, and what happens for that. So right now, We need to ensure we have resources available to keep the doors open because we want to ensure that usually happens.
Thank you. What are the other sources of funding for the home shelter? Or it has to be more than this. I know that.
That's it right now. CDBG, we've been securing funding since we've been shelter the last years. We have not because we haven't had the housing element. So that we do. This is the return. So we had funded for the last 2-3 years so through homeless housing assistance program. We also leveraged the city's housing from local housing location in the amount of $580K or so. Helped us for a little over a year. We also had our own PHA program. Ours was smaller because there's sales tax and in the county for the building. Ours was $321,000. So it really does keep doors open at a percent of months down there, but not have to keep it open for a year round.
Gotcha. So are any of these funds still available or no more?
Right now, PLHG, no, but I tell you that now that the housing element we are able to hire, applying PLHG allows us to apply for that. Last years that we did probably around a little under 200,000, which is what happened.
So we are likely going to apply for that grant.
Very likely, yes.
Okay, thank you. Hey, now regarding the application, so you may, well, think beginning of the presentation, it talked about only cities and counties can apply for this. I'm assuming, right, we can apply for it, we've got housing element in and certified by the state of California, but the city policy in a year, they cannot right now because their housing element is not approved. Is that, am I understanding that?
I understand. Similar to how we were last year.
So let's say it was, could we both potentially be applying for the CDB grant funds? Like you could, the city applying from and the county. I get it competitive, right? Is there a way that where the city could be applying for something and we're applying for that are completely different? I'm just trying to think about the future. I know it's not possible right now. In the future, I think we've really got to try to work together and figure out how to be really strategic and really get those that can this community. It's about county versus the city, about what we can collectively do kind of working together.
One of the issues with CG program is a requirement to have the housing element as well as single audit. If you haven't already financial for last year, you don't have to update one from last year, you cannot apply. If you have sort of an OB form that says that you already implemented the single audit. Single audits are federal funding. So that's one of the reasons why this fund is so difficult to apply because so many requirements. Okay. Addition to that, you have to be ready. You have to have readiness about whether you have the program implemented before, you have experience, the capacity to perform the project. It's not impossible, it's possible. Other way to, which I have an experience and do that is when city is too small, they don't have the capacity to submit an application on their own, they pass a solution, allow the county to apply their behalf. I mean, it's still an application from city, it's matched by county. So to do that service in agreement as well.
Does that strengthen our ask?
No.
It's not strengthen. Like we got the city on board, got them to sign our sheet. That helped us get some points in our application.
To point at it always good, but they are working against each other.
So want a support letter, don't want in other words. Right. We'll be asking, I mean, there's a lot of residents here from Juan Bautista this evening. We'll be asking Juan Bautista, the city of Hollister, for letters of support for this program. I mean, seniors, youth, homeless, it impacts all of us. Yes. We are all in the community together.
Not only that, we are going to be collecting, Austin is looking at, he's going to be collecting non-profit organizations. They deliver letters for food bank to school. Everybody.
I think that's my question, Henry. I really appreciate all of time and your working with the board and your help and really assessing always needs of community and making sure that people have a voice. And and I really, really appreciate bringing this to us and let's be part of this public hearing this evening. This is my first time since being on the board since 2023. We've done this and I really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for coming, but I appreciate staff letting us be a part of this and hearing. I think this we show and make sure that we're hearing and showing up for the needs of our community. So I think that everything we've talked about tonight is so important, so worthy. Everything deserves, me and time and energy toward these things. For me, it's going to come down to food and shelter are going to be number one. And so I kind of like the idea of, a way of us being able to put that. So we don't have to choose, right? Being youth, between seniors, between being housed, but everybody, and because I think staff flexibility doesn't do is it doesn't take care of that Drew Catch program. I would love to see it be able to have a carve out of something. So I'm going to be racking my brain over the next week. So for it comes before on March 31st, actually a vote, make recommendations. Is that how doing that?
Today you have the agenda an option to provide to rec so that we start working and how to resign the programs wherever you decide to, because we'll only give us less a week to prepare the application. So if you add an element, the youth services like to add art, for example, is one of the activities of the public services.
And I would like to see some kind of a commitment to the youth of our community. They are the future. But I'm struggling right now to figure out how do we get all of the homes. Is that Mel that's squeaking? Oh, thank you. I don't want to food and shelter everything under homeless. And you know what? And I don't what direction to give you exactly tonight. I would love to see some uses there. but food and shelter is incredibly important, and it is a base need. And obviously have a lot of unmet needs for our seniors. Would love to see some specific carve out for San Batista come to our senior meals. I think that if they try to keep all in mind and make decisions up here, I definitely, I know Supervisor's husband and I definitely think about that and definitely want that consideration. And I think the entire board. And so I think that San Batista has some specific needs that they need right now, provide senior meals. And so I don't know if there's a way to have a special carve out. We can guarantee that they're going to receive some of the money. And I just think there's a need for senior meals. And imagine that wait list, 47 people needing Meals on Wheels is way bigger than 47. I think there are probably a lot of people that are afraid of putting their name even on the list for a lot of different reasons. And to know that there's 1 year wait list, and that's good that we've improved that from 3 to 4 years. That we've improved it, but I'd love to where we have a wait list that we're actually able to take care of the needs. I'm probably not being super full in my recommendation, but I really love to see us able to really a difference in the meals for homeless, for seniors. And of course, the library incredibly supportive of us continuing to do whatever we can to get that project moved forward and actually get some stuff in there. So very supportive of the library, very supportive of basic needs. I don't want to pick one group against the other. So what we kind of do, but I don't want to give up the youth either. So I don't know if there's a way, maybe there's not a way, because if we start splitting it up, and also like I appreciate the work that's been done in the home shelter and making sure we're providing meals and housing and help for people that need it. So I don't know. I hope you guys come to us with some ideas, and I'm sure that you will. So I think that's a little bit of guidance from point of view. Like it doesn't. I think I'm all over the place. But there's anything that we can do to bring in more meals, and I'd love a little bit of thing for you, so you can creatively do something. That would be great.
So what we do is text and trace. We're gonna tomorrow morning to kind of like together maybe 4 brains separate in one.
Yeah.
So find out what to include everybody's today and in our direction. On a specific look at which programs. If you start direction looking to them will come on which is final decision, and you can choose whatever we can choose.
But I mean, like I don't want to on dream share programs. It's amazing. We can't do this shit. Like, let's fundraiser a community. Let's show our youth that they are important. We can go after this grant fund. Let's pull together as a community and do things we can raise funds for our youth and give them hope and an opportunity for the future. I think there's opportunities for us to work different groups as well. When I sat on the League board, there are definitely scholarships. Actually, many organizations that family we've participated in, I've sat on board on for a lot of help. Well, so if we can go this out, I will make a commitment. I will help in any way, whether fundraiser or reaching out to organizations and youth leagues and music groups, everything, find out where we can some help and how we can help for kids that need, because I don't want them feeling like we've given up on this. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. Yeah, I'll be super brief because it's getting late. I know St. Patrick's Day. Thank you everyone for being here and speaking for tonight's Youth or Senior Smackdown. Okay, we're doing what I heard from the community, basically. Library, seniors, youth. That was my takeaway. That's different ways. Those are the broadcasters of what I heard to hear those categories. And I like because Mickey mentioned earlier about does this perhaps the Petra program could incorporate the youth art into that, and they say there's a way to do that. So I think there's a way to do that. I think can structure them in a way where we have it formatted where we can actually a lot of different programs these broad categories. I think it's a good way to do it. And like I said, it's library, senior youth. That's what I heard from the community. It's what I'm willing to go forward with, support at the time. That's where I'm right now. I never have more meetings on this. And so, I guess I'll try to keep brief. That'll be for me right now. My take. Supervisor has something?
Yeah, one direction I do want to make sure that we decide on right here is the application categories. After going through and hearing the presentation, learning more about how programs work, the projects versus programs work, I am supportive of a program. I'm supportive of a product plus 2 public service planning, however that falls. I'm not going to support right now a program one until we have a better long-term plan of where we're going to go. That's where I'm at right now. So I did certain numbers, so I could not tell you on the page.
Great. Thank you. Yes.
I'll make a motion. Direct the county to apply for 3 grants, putting a project 2 public service categories. We narrow categories to library, expand senior nutrition, youth service with youth and corporate animal shelter. We have a final decision on 3 grant applications by March 30th.
There's a second.
I'll second.
All right, we have a first second. Further discussion, if we'll take a call vote.
Supervisor Unger? Yes. Supervisor Velasquez?
Yes.
Supervisor Kazumiki?
Yes.
Supervisor Sato?
Yes.
Supervisor Kuro?
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
5-0, motion pass.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for being here and participating. That is adjourned now.
Can you please don't get to send any sheets back?